Hey, there's a PGF 98387 coming from Spanaway, Washington. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, instead of throwing materials away into the garbage where they are just buried in a landfill and not reused, what I'm trying to do is recycle and reuse and repurpose things that would normally get tossed out in the trash. And I know a lot of you saying, well, you're just wasting your time, just order it new, buy new things. Well, it's the principle of it. The principle is to take an item that had to be dug up from the ground and then chemically processed and then rolled or shaped and then fabricated into a shape, and then then I bought it. I used my money that I had earned at my job, and I paid for that material packaging that whatever the packaging was that I purchased. I'm trying to reuse that for whatever reason. I'm trying to reuse those materials instead of throwing them away in the garbage, where it's just like I've taken my money and I've thrown my money away. So like in the case of potato chips or packaging that goes on to, or there's Mylar on the other side. There's a reflective surface. So what you can do is you can cut with a scissor. You can cut the bag in half and then cut the bottom and then lay it flat and either hot glue it or staple it onto a surface which acts as a reflective media. So this will enhance the light lumens in the room by reflecting the light off the surface, and also act as an insulation for heat and cold. Especially heat in the wintertime, it'll retain the heat by reflecting it off the wall surface. And also, what I do is I take these trays that vegetables come in, and I use them for organizing things in my workshop here. So what I do is I'll stack, I'll have plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, household knickknacks, odds and ends, and I'll organize them in these trays, like screws, machine screws or wood screws. I'll put washers and nuts and bolts and fasteners and any other kinds of materials that are relevant to that category. I will stack in these trays, and they're kind of nice because you can see through them. They're clear. And I brought this up before. Also, I've hooked up the Harbor Freight 1 horsepower 40 psi water pump to my solar, which is on now. I mean, the sun is kind of coming out. There's a little bit of clouds. So I'm home from work and it's sunny, and I have the Harbor Freight pump hooked up to the water tank. As you can see over here, there's a green extension cord I have running along there. This runs all the way to that little outbuilding there that has the battery bank. The solar combines all the solar together through the charge regulators to charge the batteries, and then I have that Power Bright 1500 watt sine inverter on 24/7. So I have it now on an extension cord going to this pump here, and the pump is on, and it's hooked to to this tank. In the tank I have that aquarium. So I have the bubbler in the tank, and I've been using this tank for the red wiggler worm leachate fluids. I'll pour the drainage from the worm farm into this 300-gallon water tank and keep it aerated here. I need to cover this because it might rain. I have that plugged in here. So this is on now. It's plugged in. I have it turned on. I'll show you the water pressure that I'm getting, so I can have that garden, water my garden with the rainwater. Works quite nicely, as you can see. Watering my potato patch. I'm watering, I can water my strawberries as well, and my radishes and cucumbers, my cherry trees. I'm getting about, you know, I have it on 40 psi. It's running on the sine inverter. It runs at about 400 or 500 watts when it's running, which is ample for the power that I'm bringing in over there. Anyhow, that's an update on my 1 horsepower Harbor Freight pump. Thank you.